This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Stick around to the end of the video to learn how you can get 1 month of Skillshare Premium for free. Alright, welcome everyone. My name is Kurt. I am a comic book colorist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys myself working in Adobe Fresco for the first time on a commission of Cable drawn by Adam Gorham. I really liked this app quite a bit, and I will probably be using it a lot more. So to start off with this one, I wanted to work in a little bit more of a traditional way and not so much with the lassos and the technical stuff, although I did do a little bit of that. And it was refreshing to just not really worrying about flats and selections and just painting it as if I was painting it on a piece of paper or a canvas or something. And this is a free app. If you want the live watercolor brushes, which you see here, you can actually see these colors in the water kind of running and expanding a little bit. Don't adjust your set. That is actually happening with the app here. The live brushes do require a subscription, which I think is like $10 a year now. So, but this app has improved quite a bit since the last time I used it. It has functioning selection tools, lassos, great brushes, clipping masks, a few adjustment layers, but where this really shines is in the brushes themselves. You can see here, like it's really natural looking, and especially with the watercolor texture that I've got over the top of this, just in multiply mode, it really does a good job of looking like traditional media. But the color theory plan, I guess, for this, if you want to call it that, the color plan for this was to have a very warm background, obviously with the yellows and oranges. There's going to be some reds in there eventually. And pretty much the entire range from light to dark in the background goes from a really bright yellow, eventually to a very deep red with some oranges in between. And by having the shadows on Cable be on the cooler side, it's just kind of a desaturated blue you can see there. That really pulls him off of that background, since there's really nothing cool in the background at all. So anytime you have a color or a range of color that is scarce, so there's not a lot of it on the canvas, that's always going to come forward in the viewer's eye here. I was kind of experimenting with the app here so that it's not always as smooth as I normally work. I edited a lot of that out, trying to figure things out. But I'm really just super impressed with how you can adjust how much water is on the brush, how dry it is. You've got flow. And so it's a very good analog, I would say, to traditional watercolor. And I wanted to keep this simple. It's a very limited palette. Almost all of Cable here are really just a mix of browns, that blue, some, I think there's a little bit of orange in there, skin tones in the orange pinkish range. So one of the reasons I like how it turns out is there's not a ton of colors in it. And one thing I know I've said before, I saw Rico Renzi say this on his Twitter a couple months back, and it holds true, is if you want something to look cool in the colors, use fewer colors. And that really is pretty good advice whenever you can get away with it. I've got a new book that I'm starting soon. It's a horror book, and I'm thinking about using this software for it. If I can't get the watercolors that I want in Clip Studio, then I might actually try this. We're gonna see. But yeah, all of Cable, like I said, is pretty much all those browns and blues, except for that orange and blue, that deeper orange and blue that I threw in for his main colors there. This color I'm doing on the on the guns now looks much cooler than everything around it. It looks significantly cooler, but it's only because it's the grayest thing on the page. In the color wheel, as with saturation, as you're going across the wheel toward the middle, you really go through gray. So your grays will look cool on a warm canvas, and they'll look warm on a... Did I say that twice? Your grays will look cool when the rest of the canvas is warm, and your grays will look warm when the rest of the canvas is cool. I may have said that right the first time. And by the way, all the little highlight colors you're seeing here, that bright yellow, what I did is I put a mask on the layer that has Cable's colors in it, and I used a brush to paint away the colors on Cable to reveal the yellow underneath. Here's a quick break, a word from our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. I intend to launch a new drawing and painting channel soon, and I still have no idea what I'm doing on YouTube, so I decided to check out Marquez Brownlee's class called YouTube Success: Script, Shoot, and Edit with MKBHD. I'm a huge fan of his YouTube channel. His skills are obvious. I found it to be a great class focused on exactly what I was looking for. In my case, how a pro YouTuber handles videos. Of course, there are thousands of classes on a huge variety of subjects with curated lists at the top classes in all the major categories, so you can jump right to the best classes right at the start. It's easy to find what you're looking for. You could pick up some new Procreate skills, get a better grasp of Clip Studio, learn some cool guitar licks, build a website, learn about logo design. There's literally something for everybody here. So the first 1,000 people to use the link or my code ColorWithKurt will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare at the link in the description. So thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Learn some cool stuff and support this channel at the same time. Now back to the video. This is the only stage where I decided that I really wanted a selection. I didn't want to sort of dodge the foreground here, trying to adjust the background. Again, this comes from me not really being used to working in a more traditional way. I probably should have laid in the background completely, and then I'd have been able to do most of this on one layer. But the selection tools are pretty impressive in the app. Like I said, the lasso has the ability to be aliased or anti-aliased. You can also do a freehand selection with like a point-to-point polygonal selection within one selection, which you can't do in Clip Studio. If you're listening, you have to use two tools for that in Clip. But in Photoshop and in Adobe Fresco, you can switch back and forth between point-to-point and freehand just by lifting your pencil. And the other thing that this does that Photoshop doesn't is if you lift the pencil from the iPad, it doesn't immediately close the selection, which is really, really helpful. And if you're wondering why everything went pink here, I realized that I'm like, man, if this crashes, I really don't want to lose this selection. And so I just put a layer on top and I'm filling it with a color, so that way the autosave will, I'll be able to basically re-grab that selection by choosing the pink or the whatever color that is here. And but I'm going to put it at the bottom of the stack and you'll never actually see it. Here I'm finally putting in, there wasn't a lot of deep saturated colors in this, and so in this case I decided to do that in the background and actually leave the foreground a little less saturated. It works both ways. It doesn't matter which way you go. If you want to separate your planes with saturation, your focal point doesn't have to be the saturated one. It could be the desaturated one if everything else is saturated. So again, it works both ways. Here I'm doing the old trick I learned from Bob Ross as a child, which is to spread your colors around. Like I didn't really want that red area to be the only red area on the canvas. So pulling that into the shadows and having it act as a kind of a dark value for the background sort of helps tie the whole thing together here. And this is on top with white, sort of like if I had left it this way when I was doing watercolors. If I had left it unpainted, but I'm doing it in reverse. And there's really not a lot of that, just enough to dress up the details a little bit and pull some edges forward and and that kind of thing. But overall, I will say that I do recommend this app. You're going to be seeing a little bit more of it from me every now and then, probably. And I'm really, really impressed with the brushes. My old friend Kyle Webster, who you guys probably remember from his brushes for Photoshop back in the day, and now he is one of the developers, or helping to develop Fresco, and so he's doing a great job. Appreciate his hard work there. And here's the final. And I did punch this up a little bit in, I think it was Clip Studio or something, just to get a little bit more vibrance in the colors in the background especially. And but you can see, I think it was just an overlay layer just on the background with a little bit of red in it. And that's how it turned out. So if you enjoyed this, if you learned something, check the links in the description. I've got my courses down there. We got Patreon if you want to get my PSD files, my layered files, and be able to play with those, or you want feedback on your work. A lot of way to support the channel. I'd appreciate it if you did. Click a button, you know what to do. Click a like button, click subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. See you in the next one.